It's Vitality's time to return service in game 2. Let's send it over to Gideon and Brigida.
Thanks so much, Rain Day. Holy, who was expecting a draft to look like this as we head on into game number 2 between our most anticipated series of Vitality facing off against Team Falcons. A double fighter comp now facing with long-range projectiles, but now with Khalid, this early game could be a lot more sophisticated than we thought.
Yeah, it's gonna be Vitality starting it off a bit more aggressively though, but hey, it's another Selena game from Haji. It's been a really great one for them in game number 1. But I think Vitality, I like how they tried to deal with the problems that came out of that game one by one, especially starting off with the gold lane matchup, right? You're not necessarily dealing with a gold lane that would clearly lose out against this Clint from Super Marco, but in mid, oh wait, you don't lose against Super Marco, but he gets picked up at the Riverside.
Yep, this is exactly what we're expecting to see. Again, this is some really good coordination from Falcons. They understand that a lot of the early objectives, a lot of rotations are going to call upon their side laners to get into the fight. And Vitality, unfortunately, if you get hit by that arrow, it's just good night, bye-bye. Luckily, at least for Iman, it's not the end of the world. The kill goes over to Haji. He will be able to still clear these waves pretty fast, as you can see, right? As soon as the wave is done, it's either he's helping the jungle, it's either he's setting up vision. He is making sure that he's maximizing every second of this game, knowing that those precious seconds could net them a win. If they can just outlast Vitality, Super Marco will have more than enough damage.
Oh, that's a lot of damage to deal with Finn too. Fortunately, he's a glue. He will be a bit more tankier. Owen with the quick Sandguard will at least survive that attempt from Nile. But every single time, even in game number 1, when Falcons have been winning it out big, it always started with Haji getting these small wins across the map, right? So I don't think it's a good sign as much for Vitality just yet. Let's see how it goes for this first turtle though. Oh, Eman again. Eman!
Oh no!
Eman has to get away from this. Doesn't have level 4 just yet. Owen and Super Marco are just chasing him down. That's another dash forward. But Eman, he will survive for now.
How lucky that he survives there. How lucky. And now this turtle fight, it's going to be a bit awkward.
Okay.
We'll see how this breaks.
Shogun already very low. The flicker from Finn catching 2. Now going in, tries to go for the kill, but Haji! He picks him off first. Now it's all over to Falcons to take control of the turtle pit. They're going to flicker forward even just to take down Moreno, and they do! Charging the Daytona's welcome, but to no avail. Falcons winning it out once more.
Unfortunate for Shogun, he charged up the the arrow connects and he's so dead. So dead. A 4-kill lead, and now first turtle falls into the hands of Falcons.
Hey, Haji's 3-0-1 again.
Whoa.
This is the exact same, or almost the exact same scenario we've seen earlier in game number 1, and Falcons once again securing the objective. Finn finds one, but he's gonna be all alone here. A bit of help from Moreno, but I don't think the damage is gonna be enough just yet. And now Finn will have to go down. Vitality, they're just losing members every single time.
They need to regroup, they need to regain composure here. Finn is going to be the secondary win condition here, because so far, I don't think they can really deal with Finn once he gets some items and gets really tanky. But so far, this 2K lead developed by the side of Falcons, nicely distributed around, but heavily centered around Haji, is going to start to be, well, not as painful if you don't get hit by the arrows, obviously, but more importantly so, just look at continuously making sure that the side will stay despite the fact that Iman, if he can just dodge the trapping recall, he has a pretty good kill angle.
Yeah, they tried to do the through this, but I don't think they're able to manage it the way we're seeing it as of now. 1-6 kill score on the board, and they're forced to play from behind all over again. The rotation seems so much slower too, especially as Falcons, with this lead you're seeing in Haji's hands, are just able to maximize it so well that you don't get to see Vitality use the pressure of a glue Lilia together. I mean, who could even try to go and pressure at this point? There's Owen, who's just always roaming around the map. Haji, who's just again landing these arrows over and over again. And you don't even get access to Kyle's jungle nor side of the map.
Yep. I think really it was supposed to be Finn onto Ogwin here. That was supposed to be a matchup. Oh, wait, hold on. The arrow doesn't connect, but luckily they managed to zone them out for the time being. And this is the pressure that we're talking about when you have side lane controls, right? You're able to kind of walk into the enemy territory and do whatever you want. And Finn was supposed to be the guy who says, no, you're not allowed to do that. I can just walk away from the lane. I will always be a threat to you. But now with the economic lead, Finn is just too soft at this stage of the game to be that guy.
Yeah, Vitality still. Shogun's gonna position himself here. Will decide to catch Ogwen though.
It's
That's
good.
not the standout flap, but that's still gonna be a pickoff for Team Vitality. Now Vitality getting one. They're looking for more. Flap very low. He is gonna get away from here, but it's controlled by Vitality now. The turtle is over to their side unless Falcons find a way around this, but it's not looking to be the case. Vitality at least get one objective for themselves.
And now you can see how the battle spells really take into effect and how Shogun is so confident in going for these Daytona welcomes. Even when it doesn't look like there's going to be follow-up, everybody on the side of Falcons can take in flicker. Same can be said about Vitality. You dodge an ability, that's great. You get hit by it, it's guaranteed death.
Oh, it's better
Eman.
if they find Eman, but he dodges that very cleanly. He will still get an opportunity to defend this tier 1 up top, especially as Finn 2 approaches. Oh, but the arrow and the bullets! Oh, we're landing the last hit, Eman!
He needed to change it up. He needed to change it up. They clocked it. Haji remembered, hey, he used the knockup strike previously to try and deter us. There's a high chance he's going to do it again. So I'm going to throw it in your original spot rather than praying that you just double jab. So really good work here because Falcons, they're taking into account all the small little details on top of the big macro plays. And look at Flap, right? He if you notice on the opposite end, Super Marco, he's having the gold lane experience. He's already invested in so many companies, more than you can imagine. The S&P 500 is bowed down to Super Marco.
It's still a win for Super Marco, still a win for Team Falcons. They get more out of that, and the lead is still in their hands. And Haji, as the KDA machine, those small decisions you even highlighted in that particular sequence are just making the difference for Team Falcons in this game. Selena, 2 games in a row. We thought it was going to be contested, but they got it all over again. And now Vitality are struggling to find footing. And we look at the gold leads. At least for the junglers, it's relatively close. But you see the major difference when it comes to Super Marco.
Just making the difference.
Come on.
Yup.
2 games in a row.
This is where it starts to get really dangerous because eventually, once Super Marco gets all of his items, all these fighters who don't build some form of bruiser and decide to go full damage will get punished. Like, Iman can potentially get one shot if he doesn't get his combo down cleanly.
There's a lot more pressure over Vitality's side right now. Daytona's welcome being charged. Oh,
It's good.
He finds Ogwen all over again. The target, the same exact target they went for earlier, but now he gets to cast the Raging Sandstorm. Morena finds the kill onto him, though Black Shoe's already committed as well. Super Marco is within range. Eman 2 will be here, but the zoning from Flap is helping out so much. Kyle trying to find a target. Finn tries to block off his way. Vitality are fighting for positioning in this objective, and they're not letting up. The same exact target they went for earlier, but now he gets to cast the Raging Sandstorm. Morena finds the kill onto him, though Black Shoe's already committed as well. Super Marco is within range. Eman 2 will be here, but the zoning from Flap is helping out so much. Kyle trying to find a target. Position and now securing the Vitality are fighting for positioning in this objective. They're getting the target, the same invading, and they went for earlier, but now he gets to cast the Raging Sandstorm. Morena finds the kill onto him, though Black Shoe's already committed as well. Super Marco is within range. Eman 2 will be here, but the zoning from Flap is helping out so much. Kyle trying to find a target. Position and now securing the Vitality are fighting for positioning in this objective. They're getting the target, the same invading, and they went for earlier, but now he gets to cast the Raging Sandstorm.
But he's 1-3-1, so let's say a couple of components, right? He's got enough damage to deal with the squishies, but he can't close the distance in time. Not without some help here. And that's why Shogun is playing a very good front line here, where he's baiting his opponents to walk on in. And guess what? By the time we actually get even a single mini slam or a 20% slow, that's when you see them pull them all the way back in.
Yeah, he at least has to. That's where you see it. And Flap, that's the second time they tried to go for him. And every single time you're seeing how the damage is seemingly already enough, even with just Eman and a bit of help towards Eman again from Nile mostly. the burst damage is really starting to come through. And I think that's been the trend for Vitality. They're always after the frontline heroes first, and it's not like they're lacking the tools to deal with them. And they get the wins from that point onwards. That's another target locked on by Finn. He finds Super Marco. Haji trying to run away, but Niall shuts him down perfectly on a killing spree right now. And he dashes out. He still survives. Falcons are not able to find a trade.
Niall was just mogging them. He knew he had the fracture ready to go to give him an extra 2 dashes if he just timed it well, and so he does. Falcons now discombobulated from that fight. Let's watch it one more time, because again, this is one of those moments where you just wished you just reacted a little bit faster. Super Marco using the trapping recoil falls into one of the globules, and before he gets the flicker off, it's already too late. Finn flickers instantly, not giving him any time to react to it, and that's the scenario we need to see multiple times. Nobody has a real answer to Finn if he gets on top of Super Marco, but up until then, I think the rest of the Falcons just gotta punch him in the face.
Yeah, gotta be careful. It's always been Shogun setting up for these major team fights too, so at least Flap has info, but he's not gonna go for Flap. He's gonna go for Ogwen, and with the damage coming in from Niall, they almost had the win, but in the backlines, Eman actually found Super Marco. Falcons are falling one by one. Kyle trying to escape, Eman diving under the turret, and Niall fighting the damage with the fracture. The punches, they're still going for more. Vitality, they count 3 from Team Falcons.
And now they're showing some team fight prowess, a beautiful push and pull, juggling of aggro, making sure that everybody was able to take 1 tower shot so that nobody was too low for Falcons to trade. That's the level of prestige we're playing at here for Mobile Legends, especially at MSC. They're not mucking around no more, because once you start seeing ultimates being used to run away, you know you've got them on the ropes, and you've got to really press those angles. Similarly to putting somebody in a corner in boxing, once you've dazed them, you got to go for the kill, and Vitality just don't miss.
Unbelievable. I thought Shogun and Flap were just exchanging blows and just standing right before the objective started, but it was just all set up. They were trying to get their attention, and that's where they really focused on the target that they wanted. Ogwen has always been going through these moments against Vitality, and it's not looking too good, but I think more than that though, the way Eman right now is not the very vulnerable type of gold laner. He's a lot more aggressive, and even with that solo kill in the backlines has made a huge difference for Team Vitality and how they're taking control of this game right now. Oh, an arrow is gonna land though. That's gonna be on Moreno. Doesn't get to click the black shoes in time. Ogwen doesn't get traded out. Quick Sandguard fortunately saves him. But the Lord is now inside this tier 3 turret. Falcons get to defend it for now, though.
Man, that's a damage coming out from Niall. Everybody having a Malefic Roar ready to go to cut through all the armor that's been set up by the Falcon side. Let's look at the items one more time here. Sky Piercer purchase coming in from Kyle. He needs that, however, I'm not so sure in this particular bout. I feel like Super Marco is going to be the main win condition no matter what. So a Bruiser build would have made a lot more sense. He does have the War Axe, which is nice. I would have liked to see the Queen's Wings on top of it. We look down at specifically Iman, right? And you can see he wants to go for that full damage, but he also recognizes that if he gets chunked out too early on, he might not be able to clutch back up. So it's safer just to go for the fight.
And look at where Niall and Shogun are currently positioned. They're really trying to go for more unexpected angles and plays against Team Falcons. Fortunately for them, they're really grouping up. They don't want to lose any more in the process, because it's clearly Vitality winning majority of it at this point. And we have a minute until the Lord spawns next. But can Falcons actually afford to go for a play? Because it's always been Vitality, right? It's always been Shogun starting these engages with a Daytona's Welcome Flicker that catches them by surprise.
Here's what I foresee is going to happen. Shogun and Flap are going to continuously trade blows, right? Flap, unfortunately, just doesn't have enough of a lead to put Shogun behind. So then it comes to 2 conditions. Can Haji hit somebody else other than the frontliners of Vitality? And the second one is once Flap starts getting into the backlines, especially if he can get on top of Niall and force him to use some abilities, probably not onto Finn, but they need to figure out where Iman is exactly. The last team fight, they managed to get into their backlines. They cannot afford to let that happen again. And unfortunately, Flap is kind of the only frontliner who can do this. We've seen Owen get punished multiple times throughout this game against Finn.
Yeah.
So that's just the matchup they cannot sync up. It's a game of rock, paper, scissors. The question is, who throws the first hand?
Which I think Vitality are already trying to set up for again, as they've been managing the waves constantly, leading to this next objective spawn, and it's Falcons who's trying to respond to whatever they've been able to do already. They're already taking control. That's an arrow landing to the front lines, but Falcons might not decide to go for Shogun just yet. They know there's still a flicker. They know there's still a Daytona's welcome. But Kyle, if he finds Evan here, which he doesn't, that could have been something. But they're still not going to commit. They see other members of Vitality nearby too.
They know for a fact that it's just not worth committing so many ultimates just for Iman. They need something a little bit better here, and they need those structures, and the only way they're going to get it is through that Lord. So far, as we can see the positions here, Vitality have a much bigger spread. They want to punish Iman.
Oh, maybe they want to use their ultimates onto Eman after all. That's an Abyssal Arrow and the Raging Sandstorm, but under the turret, Eman! He nearly found an outplay there and bought enough time, so Vitality could secure the objective.
I mean, they tried for it, and so it's still a very tough bout. There could have been a moment there where it could have gotten a lot worse, but at least for Vitality, this 5.2k lead is something that they can run with. Moreno now becoming a legitimate threat to the frontliners, so now the roles start to reverse. Shogun as well as Finn need to create that space for Moreno to get those free hits. If they can force Ogwin out, that's even better. If they can hurt Flap, even better. So far, I think that as long as Moreno doesn't get hit by an arrow, which makes me wonder, maybe you should have taken Purify. But at the same time, it's like you get chased out by Kyle and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, honestly, it's been flickers everywhere since game number 1. I feel like that's going to be the trend since it's the... Oh, wow. We get a close-up of that?
Yeah. I didn't know you can get that close, to be honest.
Me too. I was surprised. But I think, yeah, that's going to be the trend probably based on the playstyle that both of these teams have been wanting to play, at least in the series and against each other, to be specific. But the Lord is still marching. This is not the Evolved Lord just yet, but there could be potential flicker plays. Finn is yet to find an entry, but Super Marco starting to be damaged! And the perfect entry gets set up by Vitality! Finding Super Marco as the first pickup. Now it's Flap looking like to be the next. Moreno finally able to land all these glooms. He's free enough to land these hits. And they take out 2 base turrets. They're already inside the base. And they want to go for Haji. Kyle trying to run away, going for the clear as much as they can alongside Ogwin. But Vitality just want to clean up. Finn is also still alive. And Eman's just locking on the base. We're looking like it's another equalizing series. 1-1 for Vitality and Falcons.
Hey, we're gonna have the most lively stage here at EWC with the fans on both sides getting what they want, a 1-1. Let's see how long this series can be extended for. Holy, what a fight, man. I love the fact that it's a best of 5 for a reason. It's an elimination match for a reason.
Really good adjustments, especially from Vitality. If you saw the Melissa counter down in game number 1, I think you could pretty much say the same for Super Marco on the Clint this time. He too has been answered here by Vitality through the sequence of the draft, through the flex that they did on blue side. And they weren't able to replicate what they did, especially nor even with the Selena in their hands.
Yeah, and that's the thing about the Selena. If you don't hit those arrows, you're not going to feel like she's having that major impact. She can influence the game when you have a lead, but when you're behind, you notice that all of a sudden she's a disruptor. She is a CC chain breaker more than anything else. The only unfortunate thing is that Bulletproof Marco, they got underneath. The glue stuck his skin straight to that Kevlar, and my God, he just couldn't flicker out in time. There's so many scenarios where it ended like that. And worse yet, once Finn got like maxed out items, he couldn't even deal damage to him.
It's always Finn or Shogun. That last setup from Shogun though, the one you're looking at right now, I think that really was the deciding play of this game. The moment they took down Super Marco, they pretty much equalized the series then.
They do. I will have to admit, Shogun, he's got the best Detona's welcome to Flicker I've ever seen. We're throwing it back over to the panel to break it down for y'all. What happened that game?
Vitality fans saying cry some tears because they took it in game 1. That's for sure. There was no doubt there was going to be a lot of back and forth between these two super fans, and it is giving us the most lively stage at EWC right now. Guaranteed. Lenovo Legion Gauntlet, the place to be. MSC and MLBB. Welcome back. My name's Rain Day. I'm joined by Trex and LaFell. And guys, breaking that down, we just saw it there. We saw Shogun same first pick or first 2-3 pick Barats. Now he gets the early lead and he doesn't die at all. I mean, they realized they were onto something. They just needed to play it a little better.
I'm sorry I doubted it. We questioned the Barats first pick. It all makes sense now. This has to just be pure comfort for Shogun. And we were talking about it during the game. Even in the game they lost, the guy never missed those Detona flickers. I mean, it was just insanity.
I mean, like, here's the thing. I feel like part of the reason why Shogun was able to use the Barats that well is because if we're looking at the drafts coming in from Falcon, they don't have a lot of ways to counter-engage, right? In the previous game, they had the Barats. So if you go in, we're going to stop you. And then they even ban out the Cho. Cho is also one of those heroes where, okay, the Barats chomps onto someone, and then Cho can just equalize it by kicking the damage dealer, right? In that situation, probably the Noden. So I feel like this is one of those games where Shogun has an amazing Barats, and it's just amplified by the fact that there's no hero to really punish him.
I think it was also, we'll have to look back, but the Cho got banned. I wonder if it's actually on the side of Team Falcon's PH that banned it.
I know, Vitality banned both the Belleric as well as the Cho.
And they banned Cho.
In the 4th and 5th ban.
Okay, well then that makes a ton of sense. So now they've got to answer that question, which is obviously going to be, will you bring the Barats back? Will you ban it? Will you make Shogun play something else? And the other side of things, we saw Nile, who was so good. We mentioned this new rivalry in the jungle. Nile had a tough game 1, but then he went onto the Nolan and dominated. A little bit more about Nile is something we wanted to showcase to all of you wondering where this star from Team Vitality came from. If you want to know more about his story, take a look.
Whoa! You can see the taunts live on stage.
He's very stubborn.
He always knows something the others don't know.
Gue ngerasa ego dia cukup tinggi, ego player, ego jungler. Nile is best jungler for me ya. It started from COVID. I played 80 hours per day or 12 hours, something like that, because I don't have nothing. I don't know what to do. And suddenly I am reaching a top global.
Very competitive player because he always thinks about the game all of the time.
Head coach of Onyx MLB MPL contact me. Do you want to join Onyx Sports? My ego said, hell yeah. Before he's a big fan Onyx in Vitality, and I think still the same Nile but more mature.
Got Nile in the jungle, man. They gon' win.
Onyx loaned me to Big Farm. I'm reaching my first international M5. I'm not playing in season 13 because I think I need to fix myself. I think it was a bit of mess up. My mindset was.
He was barred for 2 official matches.
During the M5 series, Nile has been suspended because of the accident. Not only me, like all of us, I think, get mad and angrier. I just want to like this, but I don't know, suddenly it came up. I totally regret it.
I know in his heart he's very kind, but he's a funny guy also.
I need to control myself. He doesn't do any mistake anymore. Nile is mature person right now.
Everything I do, pack a punch, back it up.
Beating Kyrie in grand finals to me mean a lot to me because he was the top jungler in Indonesia before, not him anymore. If you can see my reaction after we winning the grand finals, you don't need to compare to Kyrie lah about yourself. You become champion, bro, for your own team also.
Yang bisa compare Nile itu for now cuma TNZ, but I still choose Nile for me.
Proud sitting next to you. I will help my best to making you the best.
I cannot do it by myself. That's why I need their help, and maybe they need my help, so we can reach our golden road together. The person I look up, it was my father. My father is passed away. Back then, he was humble, and he's the type of person and down to earth. And I wish I become a person like that also. Inspiring me so much because before he is an athlete in chess, that's why he inspired me so much. Taught me so much about life.
1v1v1.
Well, it's amazing to hear a little bit about Nile's story, the exciting and superstar jungler on Team Vitality. You mentioned fighting. It's Kyrie. He also mentioned his father and his humility that he learned from that. Your reactions to just seeing a little bit more about Nile, Trex. We know what he can do. He just showed it. But as his story evolves, this could be an amazing moment to add to what is already a great character study.
I like the fact that he has definitely mellowed out a bit, but I still think he has that ego in him, and I think that's what you need to be the best right now, and I think that's what we're waiting to see. We're waiting to see these players really bring it all out and not be scared to show it off a little bit.
Yeah, because we know that Nail has the horsepower, right? He has the ego, he has personality, and we saw sometimes he goes overboard. But this is the thing about growing up, right? You tend to know how to control yourself. Now you know that you can go all in the game, but then once you celebrate, you're just like, all right, that was good. Good on you guys.
Thumbs.
Yeah. No, this and etc.
You know what? I will say this: at a young age, I was playing with the U17 men's national team for football, soccer, and it is a lot when you're a 15-year-old.
Football.
You start preparing for a World Cup. There are guys who are after that about to go pro, and they're 15 or 16. They're about to go pro. Like they jump out of high school. And I remember myself, I was not quite ready for that jump. And I think I've seen over the years maturity come in different ways. But sometimes the one thing I look at and I said, I didn't have the ego to say I'm that guy yet. And that is something that you said he bringing it back a little bit. Trek, sometimes you do have to let that show for a big
You gotta have that dog in you.
You gotta
have that dog in you sometimes. And I think Niall has that dog in him.
I'm Muslim, so that's haram. So I'm gonna change mine to I don't know, a tiger. I got a tiger in me. Roar.
You got that tiger in you?
Yeah, for sure, man. Here's the thing. I feel like now this is one of those reasons why with this assassin meta coming back, it's so good for those junglers that has this very high ego, because you kind of need that to play the assassins. Because if you're going in with an assassin and then you have like doubts, can I kill the guy or not? You're kind of using the wrong hero. Am I right?
It's just a mindset.
It's just a mindset. It's
all
like,
a mindset.
if I could kill you, I'll kill you. In game.
Of course.
In-game.
Well, comparing different thoughts, comparing apples to oranges, we actually had a great chance here in MLBB to catch up with someone you may know and enjoy, Lemon.
I was walking in the audience and I found the legend.
Hello.
It's Lemon. Lemon, how are you?
I'm great.
You're great. How's Paris so far?
So hot.
It is kind of hot. You miss the cold.
Yeah, but the food is fire though.
You love the food.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And I know you've been following the group stages and of course coming into the knockouts. Lemon, is there a team that really surprised you this MSC?
For me, it's Team Liquid.
Team Liquid.
Yeah. It's such a surprise for me because they get knocked out so early, right? Because I hope them meet Indonesian team in the final.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were also quite surprised. But were you surprised by any teams in a good way?
In a good way, Onyx qualified to the knockout.
Okay, so he didn't expect Onyx to qualify.
No, it's not. I do hope them, but it's such a surprise because they went to the rough path.
Yeah, that's true. It looked like they were struggling. I think even a lot of the people out there were quite surprised, but they're here right now. And taking a look at the Indo team so far, what do you think has been lacking about them? Do you think that there's something that they could improve?
I don't have a lot to say actually because they did so well in the group stage, right? Maybe in during drafting phase they need to get through it, like really think what the comfortable hero for them, and maybe don't make any unnecessary movement in game.
Okay, so drafting and unnecessary movement. I feel like I know which player you're talking about right now. But if we're talking about any heroes, like the meta has been so interesting so far. Cool heroes have been popping up. Is there an underrated hero that you want to see here at MSC?
I really want to see Xavier.
Xavier.
Yeah.
Oh, you think Xavier could be played?
I really love to play Xavier. He has like good poke, good CC with his second skill. With a good comms, with a good pair with a strong roamer like Cho, maybe Xavier can counter a lot of this hero meta, this hero a lot of dashes. Right?
Okay. Maybe Xavier comes through. I hope Xavier comes through. Honestly, I thought you were going to say Kagura.
Kagura is so bad.
Kagura's bad. But Lemon, do you have a message to Vitality that's currently playing right now?
For BTR Vitality, I hope you guys can beat Falcon like in the group stage, and just do your best. Good luck, and don't forget to have fun.
Thank you so much, Lemon. It's an honor to be here with you. Enjoy the games because we are now going to throw it over back to you guys.
A big shout out to ObSpot as well. I know they sent me a camera last year, and I got a lot of cameras, but that one was quite good. So they're our official sponsor. Welcoming you back here to the Lenovo Legion Gauntlet. Oh, you guys didn't get one? Oh man, sucks. What? Too bad, bro.
Hey,
Step
just
up your content game, man.
Hey, give me like 1.5 months. I'll figure something out.
Are you kidding? No, you guys are excellent. One of the things, not easy to be a content creator and a caster. I got to give a shout out to all the MLBB crew. Not only are they teaching me all these things, they're making vlogs, they're posting, they're building up their socials. It's a beautiful thing. I love it. Not every esport does that, so you guys are awesome. Let's jump back into game 3. It's 1-1. How we feeling? Super Marco there.
I want to know how Super
down.
Marco's feeling.
I know.
Locked in.
I mean, like, it must feel bad when you pick up the Clint and you're going up against a Paquito. That just feels bad for any marksman in that matchup. So I feel like that just adds another layer to it. Because I really feel what Team Falcons wanted to do with the Harif ban, as well as I believe the Claude ban, was to actually force the Paquito to go into the gold lane, and then hoping they go to the late game, and then by that time, Super Marco with the Clint will just pop off. But I feel like now they got to respect that, right? Understand that you might go up against Iman with a fighter. Doesn't have to be the Paquito, could be something else like a Ruby or something, and that's just something that they have to deal with. Because I really feel like in Game 1 and Game 2, it's less about the draft and really more about the execution. Maybe Game 2, if they have another hero like a like a Belleric that can counter the Barats, maybe that'll be a little bit better.
I think they definitely could have picked up the Belleric in phase 1.
That's Just No Limit, by the way. Shout outs to him.
Right on. Just No Limit. Who's he voting for?
Who's he what?
Vitality, right?
Oh, 100%. 100% Vitality.
Are you trying to do an American accent right there, boy?
Hey, I'm quarter American, me. What?
Is that how we sound?
Yes. Actually,
how do we sound to you?
Dude, let me just say, there's a bunch of time I go to breakfast, and it really screws in my brain, because I just hear a bunch of nice talking. He's the most traditional white guy that even, like the real white guys come out. It's like, oh, you guys sound like nice?
Yeah, you sound like nice.
You guys sound less American.
Right on.
The gold standard, huh? A different gold standard.
He's the white standard.
The white standard. Oh, no. Oh, fell. Trex is laughing.
Hey, white power,
Hey.
So now going into...
Last game, they switch up the ban. They ban out the Valentina this time. Vitality wins last game, and they're going to switch up their bans. Instead of trying to run the same exact thing, each team consistently. Knowing the next game has to be different.
I mean, like, here's the thing. That Selena really ruins their early game, because if you guys remember in game number 2, Emma on that Paquito tried to help with the Little Wanderer, and then they got...
All living followers.
got it, but then Iman died. So I feel like they're looking at it as, you know what, Selena's doing too much. Even when they're losing, she's doing too much.
And I'm trying to see where this translates into something opening up. I mean, it could be the Belleric opening up earlier for the side of Team Falcons.
Or the Atlas.
It could be the Atlas as well, because they're giving something up. They've been taking away both of those.
The Fanny as well as the Atlas. So now they banned the Atlas. I don't know whether they themselves want the Fanny or they don't want to give the Fanny over to Falcons.
I think if the Harara's open, then they know that at least they can still take their Barats. The Selena's no longer there, and they have some tradability in the long haul of things. Vitality is the one that's here. On the gun, having to make a big decision. Last game they banned out the Valentina. This time they have to think about it.
Does the Esmeralda indicate that they want to go back to Shogun having a good lane?
Oh yeah,
XB with Barats.
100%. Like, this is a draft where you know that Shogun brought the coach out to dinner and the coach really liked that dinner. It's like, you know what? You're always going to be first pick. Yeah.
He paid for dinner.
They banned out the Melissa.
They'll expire.
Solo kill. Gather at the curtain. Let's go.
That's interesting. They're opening up quite a lot here, right? The Valentina's there, Hirara, the Lings, the Fannies, Zushin as well. I don't know about this one. I feel like Barats first pick is still fine.
Yeah, honestly, I think they still go Barats.
It's like when you know you're visiting for a night, you don't need to worry about being comfortable. You can wear anything. You only have one night you're driving home. When you're staying for a week, now you got to bring your pajamas, got to feel comfortable. I think in these longer sets, you see players revert back to like, what has worked for me? What is comfortable? We've got 2 games on it. Let's figure out a third. Not changing something's a big deal.
So you just go to Jushin, Belleric here, I think.
Yeah, that's a great play.
Belly Boy and Jushin.
Sounds good. And then later on, you'll see whether out of all the assassins that's still open, which one do you want? You want the Harara, the Ling, or the Fanny? Because I feel like, judging by game 2, I think Falcons should be really hesitant to pick up that Fanny because there's so much fighters. And
Falcons doesn't want the Fanny, then they might have to lock in the Harara here, right? That
true.
Might be just Harara, Belleric.
I would go with that. That sounds very solid.
They still have the Ling as an option. If they don't, we haven't seen it, but that could mean that if they, never mind, they want the Fanny.
They're risking it this one.
They want it.
I mean, like,
it's because they don't want Vitality to have it.
I think so too, because Nile is pretty disgusting on that Fanny. So now they have 2 ways to deal with this. Either go Moskov in gold or go for that Paquito again, just so that you know that Fanny does not have a good target to actually both slice in.
Paquito and Moskov right now.
So Paquito, jungle, Moskov, gold. I mean, like, I'm not against it. It's just very, very honest.
Yeah, and you show a lot in these first 3. Bans come up after that.
They could go Zushin. Sorry.
No, I'm with you. I think Zushin could be good too. I think your team go with Zushin is nice.
And the Moskov.
Or Paquito. Depends on which route you want to go for, right? Because I feel like if you don't secure either or, 100% they're going to get banned. So they pick up the Paquito as well as the Eudora. So that's why picking out the Fanny can be a risk. Basically, all 3 can counter the Fanny here.
So that's interesting.
Was it a big brain bait?
I think
by switching into the Selena, leaving the Fanny open, taking the Barats again first. Do we think this was just like they're going to go Fanny to steal it from us, and then we instant counter it?
Honestly, I feel like it was a gamble. They're like, guys, there's a chance they will pick it up. If they don't, then we got to figure something else out. But the moment they pick up the Fanny, they're like, all right, we got him.
Well, listen, if this is Paquito Gold, if it is going to mix over, then he has an opportunity to pick his matchup that he wants. And Harith is still open, which we haven't seen open for him yet, and he's enjoyed. They're going to wait till that because they're not sure, again, that is Paquito Gold.
So I feel like for Vitality, to make it easier for themselves, I think they need to ban out something like the Ruby, because I think right now Falcons, they're considering playing double fighters. That's why they're picking up the Lapu so that he's flexible. Worst comes to worst, you can put Lapu in gold. Not the best place for you to put him, but it's an option.
Yeah.
Ruby would be a nice answer to the Paquito and the Barats, those bulky frontliners, something that can just kind of stop them in their tracks and stop the big engage that Vitality wants to bring. Coming into the ban list, Falcon takes out the Harley.
I mean, you could do essentially, I mean, for those watching a new to MLBB, right, you have that traditional marksman normally in gold. You have the big fighter in EXP. We're seeing the experimentation there with some of these teams either putting a fighter in gold, sometimes flexing them into the jungle as well, but mostly either in gold and in EXP. So you have two different styles, but aggressive, CC, team fight focused characters. Is it possible that Falcons go and say, well, let's just match that? I mean, let's just do that ourselves.
Because right now, based on the bans here, Falcons banning out that Harley, I think they're opening up just in case they want to go for marksman. So I think the marksman is going to be red 5. They're going to see the entire draft, and then they're going to decide. And then for Vitality, they're banning out the Eve. If they ban out something like the Zushin, it basically shows that they want to gank mid for quite a few times. They just don't want these tanky mid laners to be there, lowering the chance of them actually getting a kill.
Yeah, they need to make sure, well, they got to make sure that Eudora also has a lot of freedom, and something with that much range, taking out the Eve. Selena's already gone. They've no.
The southern seas are my domain.
Has the BMI, has a little bit more movement in terms of team fights, and can maybe get away from the Lapu a little bit better.
If you want to go double fighters, there's still the Ruby, but I feel like you don't have to. I feel like a Harith or a Moscow should be good here. They picked up the carry. So they just want to make sure that when the Barats exposes himself, they have an answer. So quite balanced here, getting a lot of bursts coming in from the far side as well as Fanny, and then having
Tyrant of wrath, and burn this wretched world.
that shred from the carry. I'm liking Falcon's draft here because for Vitality, it kind of depends on both the Barats as well as the Kufra.
And the Jungle Paquito was something they lost in game number 1. Can they pull through this time in game number 3 and get a win off of it? Falcons taking it back with a few picks. The Farza, the Fanny. Excited to see how it goes.
Well, Team Vitality and Shogun been feeling pretty comfortable with that Barats on the stage the 3rd time around. Will he get kicked out? Need to find a new place to stay? We'll find out as we send it back over to Gideon and Brigida for Game 3.
Game 3 begins, and already we are anticipating who is going to bring it to the next level here. Who's going to take another point over the others? The score is 1-1 as we jump on in to the land of Dawn. And Brig, I don't know, these compositions, they're like Digimon. They just keep evolving. You don't know when it stops. You don't know when they have figured out what is the end goal.
Yeah, if there's one thing that evolved, we're no longer on all flickers. least see 2 Purifies on Team Falcon's side. And understandably so, you're seeing an overwhelming amount of crowd control over on Vitality, which I feel if they don't get to use in the proper sequence would be very... punishing for their team fights in the latter portions of this game.
Yeah, really interesting. A quick look at the emblems, and immediately we're already seeing Pull Yourself Together from Haji on a Purify in comparison to a Wilderness Blessing coming in from Moreno. So Moreno wants to move around this map a lot quicker. With Finn, thanks to that concussive blast, but the Brave Smite here, pretty important for Ogun to keep himself alive. As we see the first couple of interactions, it's just about control. It's about how much we can control this lane and minimize the rotations.
Yeah, Finn and Moreno are required to really work together, I feel, especially as because the nature of a Kufra, which I feel like is the reason why we don't really get to see him recently, is also because of the fact that once you go in, there's barely any way for you to disengage, and it's pretty much like you have to at least get a guaranteed stun or set for you to make sure that you get to maximize this hero to its fullest potential, because if not, it will be very easy for Falcons, considering their lineup too, to just go in for the punish. And that's a quick rotation you're seeing from Haji.
Potential engagement from Finn as well. I don't think they want to do this right now, right? Nobody's level 4 at the right time, and more importantly, as much as they want this EXP crap, which Shogun gets, no problem, but I don't see Falcons finding First Blood just yet. Not until we see Haji hit level... Oh my goodness, Moreno's so close. Oh, he walks out just at the very edge, gets caught.
Yeah, I probably thought there was a bit more grass. But okay, Flap. Oh, it's not even the Tyrant's Revenge that catches him first. It's just gonna be a Detona's Welcome from Shogun.
Ah, Shogun's really good with the Detona's Welcome. It's actually kind of crazy, but here comes Haji.
Okay, Finn, he's gonna show himself. They have enough idea of where Vitality are currently positioned. Kyle's still gonna go window. There is no ball of lightning anymore from Moreno to land the stun, but Finn is still gonna be there. They're trying to focus on Haji this time, and Nile will just really secure the objective. Hold on. Flap goes in. They still want to fight, but Vitality don't.
I'm surprised that they didn't even want to like let the Feathered Airstrike rip or like try to force out. They knew that, okay, Shogun should be okay here, I would assume. He's max stacked out. There's no chance that Kyle's going to be able to cut him down just yet. Not without a little bit of help here. But on the opposite end, I was really expecting like Haji to try and make something happen, force somebody to flicker, force them to flicker forward or anything, because losing their battle spells on the side of Vitality is a lot more punishing compared to the Falcons.
Yeah, so the one's on all flicker, but they dealt with that first objective really, really well. I mean, that immediate transition from just taking out Flap, which I feel also shouldn't have been the case, but I guess it was just a bit too unexpected for Vitality to just jump on him at the same time too. So you don't really get to see Falcons at least in a position where they'll be confident enough to contest. The gold lane is definitely something that we don't really put into consideration as much now, just because the focus is just really heavily towards the mid. It's because of these mid trios that we're seeing a lot of things happen, or supposedly happen, by far.
Yeah, and also the scary thing is that Super Marco also decided to take the Purify, right? So taking these like heavy hate trades against Iman, there's always that risk of at any point of time somebody could come for this gank. And he doesn't mind the 2v1 scenario because of that Purify, but as soon as he loses it, he suddenly becomes this vulnerable target that even Nile can take it out without much effort. So it's about maintaining control, right? And you can see that both sides, oh my goodness, another Detona's Welcome set up for Shogun and Nile.
It's not a good start for Flap, at least, and I don't think Vitality are paying too much attention towards Super Marco too. They acknowledge the fact that yes, this is a carry on Purify, but I think they're just really trying to double down on shutting down the EXP laner for Falcons, which I think would allow for so much more openings and entries here for Falcons. But considering that he hasn't been able to farm up, Falcons are just not confident enough to fight against. Vitality, especially in these objectives, which Flap will still decide to show up for, but it's a 2-level gap you're looking at between him and Shogun.
Yeah, this should be a no contest unless they're able to get like a big fat all coming in. From Owen. I mean, he's thinking about it, right? He sees all of the members there. This might be the angle to try.
Whoa, that was just a flicker setup onto Owen, and they immediately burst him down. The Daytona's welcome! Catching Kyle, but he still gets to secure the retribution. Nonetheless, this is Falcons clapping back, a cutthroat 2, finding 3 in the process. Haji flying in towards Moreno, doesn't have the feathered airstrike, but Falcons are able to turn that around.
Icefield warriors, don't bring shame upon our ancestors' glory.
That's so sad. He was a pixel off the wall, but at least the Falcons will be able to try and convert this to something even more. They get mid-tier 1. Let's look at this replay one more time, because again, great engagement. Right, but the Denton is welcome. As you see just here, he eats him mid-air, flickers backwards, and misses the wall.
I will not dishonor the name you gave me.
Puts him right on top of the turtle. He thought it was gonna connect. Honestly, really well played from both sides here, but big ups. And Ogwin knows, it's like, hell yeah, they messed up. And that's great, because now this is gonna drag out a little bit further. And with a 1.5k lead, Haji is starting to come into a position where he can legitimately start threatening the members of Vitality. Moreno in particular. He might, if he can force Moreno to flicker early on, this mid-game might be where Falcons really shine.
Yeah, Moreno I think has been very difficult to catch as well on the Eudora, but that pretty much put Falcons back in the game. That's already a lead over to their side. Oh, okay, Finn is gonna spot them here. Eman should already know that there's a potential gank.
Are they willing to trade top tier 1 for this? They're probably gonna send Kyle up to the top side, right? As soon as they show, the wave gets cleared up here. Yep, he makes his way over to the top side. They already know the Shogun is communicated. Nile ready to punch.
Oh, that was a lot of damage from Nile. And that was just Nile.
I definitely think that could have been a kill angle there, but I think even now recognize there's not a lot of people here. I'm not 100% sure whether they moved away from that conceal afterwards, but more importantly, he's got to make sure that he gets the angle right. If he accidentally pushes Kyle too far in certain areas, Kyle, he's good with these cables. He can start zipping around. He's got to lock him down right against the wall.
Okay, at least they somewhat equalize things, and the farming is looking still pretty great. Especially for Super Marco. But this is where we see how Vitality are able to bounce back. They're not able to, or they're not allowed to make any mistakes similar to what happened earlier. It's been a really good run for Shogun on the Barretts here, but that could have been the turning point if they don't find their way back in this game. Finn is looking for a really good setup here, but they have no idea where Flap is.
Oh, it's a bit of a dangerous gamble here. Not to mention that they've already got like a slow pushing side up top as well. That's going to start turning into the opposing favor. Oh no, the Detona's welcome did not connect. Now Falcons have an opportunity here.
Okay. Shogun really has reset here in this game. That's another Detona's welcome not connecting onto anyone. Falcons are fully aware of the fact that they no longer have that setup potential. But Kyle is nowhere near this objective as of now.
Can't afford to show himself. Iman spots a Baku. Is nearby. Look at Finn. He's going for the... And he's anticipating it.
Oh, he's waiting for it.
It's
and
good.
He catches Kyle. Blazing duet from Eman, and the bouncing ball prevents him.
My answer.
From actually getting to Cable out of there.
Great call. Great call. Made sure to use everything to ensure that Iman was able to get this kill.
My act begs to differ.
And also the bouncing ball to keep him in place rather than letting him move around. The order of these skills matters so much, and now Vitality, they need to take advantage of the scenario.
Okay, that's a Detona's welcome with the Cyclone Eye. Slight reposition with the damage from Nile. It's a bit too much. Haji using the defended airstrike. Finn tries to tank the damage, but it's an outplay. Nile, it's a turnaround. Falcons actually take him down. And Super Marco is able to find one more.
Beautiful play coming in from Haji as well. Feathered airstrike, Purify as well to ensure that he makes it. Work. However, the cooldowns are down. And Flap, he's not going to be able to get his ult back up in time, I think. I think he's got about like 13 seconds until it comes back up, but there's just too many members dead on the side of Vitality. This is no contest, and Falcons take this lead back. Despite the game going for at least 9 minutes, it's surprising to see only one turret from the side of Vitality has been taken. Falcons are able to get 2 turrets of their own, but this is where we see a 3.5k lead turn into a 5 to 6k lead.
Vitality should be very particular with where they decide to choose the fight, or if they even want to proceed with the fight, if they find themselves in positions that aren't really as favorable for them. Because I believe earlier, especially with that Cyclone Eye, putting Shogun in a slightly deeper position towards Falcon's area made it a bit more difficult for Vitality to actually follow through. And so with that, it was another clear punish from Falcons, and it's a huge win for them because gold lead, map control, everything's just now all over to their side with just that single play.
And that's exactly what they want for it. These are the big momentum shifts that you expect to see in a game of this high level. Oh my goodness, okay. Some big spells being thrown out, and Super Marco just lost his flicker, walking up too close and getting hit by that ball lightning on top of the superconductor, allowing it to go become a bit of an AoE in small areas. Moreno, he's looking for that big one shot, and I'm worried for it, right? If Super Marco makes a mistake and walks up too far, even though you do apply yourself with the Purify and take away the superconductor, if Moreno just 1-2s into the ult, I think there's a pretty high chance of you just exploding out of nowhere.
Yeah, at this point, I think it's just really Vitality forced to maybe find a different combo. It could be maybe Finn and Nile. There's a lot of damage you could expect, but Finn decides to go in instead, and together with Eman, they blast Super Marco! The perfect pickoff and start to this team fight only if Nile makes it out alive, but he doesn't. Flap actually goes for the chase. 4-man land shaker to land it towards Team Vitality, but the re-engage, they still want to fight. The Daytona's welcome, and it's Kyle. They catch a successful land on the wall this time, but he still finds the wall spam.
Holy cow, he nearly killed 2 people there. Haji, if he just had a little bit more damage, I think they would have been able to secure it, but oh my god, that should be the Trinity complete for Iman at this point of time. He was building up to it, didn't find it, and then eventually got it, but you gotta give it up for Shogun here. A great engagement coming in from Finn. They outplay it with the help of Iman, but right at this very moment where you're expecting the cleanup, you're expecting Haji to be able to hit that fast one after the land shaker. The charge, the instant death as well. What a reaction from Shogun.
And this time it landed, but with that very brief amount of time that Kyle got.
Holy cow.
It's so crazy to think that he was nearly able to outplay at least 2 members of Vitality, as you mentioned. You do want to put him close to the wall, but that's also something he wants. So at the same time, you maybe should position yourselves away from it. It maybe should only be Shogun near the wall if ever you do try to go for that exact same setup later on.
Hey, that's the truth of it all, right? Sometimes you just get overly eager and forget how big some of these abilities actually are, but Haji is now starting to become a legitimate problem, right? Iman, he's got to be careful. Every time he uses that BMI, which is why what he's doing every single time he drops it down, he walks up forward, hopes to get a reaction, and then takes the BMI away, begging for Falcons to say, hey, one of you have to make a move first.
Eman will get his flicker in 10 seconds, though. They will be ready to take on this fight. Same for Moreno.
Oh, Finn.
Kyle already flies in, though. Finn charging! Kyle secures the objective nonetheless, though, and Nile gets bursted down by Super Marco. Shogun looking like the next target. Daytona's welcome out. Finn trying to run away. Emma blazing do it just to make it to safety, but he fails. Vitality are just scrambling to get back to their base. Falcons are dealing a bit too much damage.
It's a little too much to handle here. Big mistake coming in from Finn. Unfortunately, tries to go behind the pit to intercept, but ends up hitting nothing. He's still holding on to his ult, and so far, they need a defense. They're going to pull it first. Pull it down to the bottom side.
It's just Finn and Shogun, but they're just being torn down to pieces by Super Marco on the carry. Moreno gets jumped on by Flap. 3-man stun, but Falcons are in the base. They take this game 2-1.
Nothing too surprising in this game. We knew that this game would end with a big bang at the very least. Unfortunately, that came out of Vitality's side. A single misposition on a Lord ended up their entire backline was exposed. This is why I was thinking maybe Cho would have been a better option rather than the Kufra. It follows the same protocols and yet has that single target lockdown. But I think for the side of Vitality, they want to be able to fight on a dime. They want to be able to consistently get in. But Falcons, man, the trigger man, they're fast with it. They don't hesitate.
Yeah, because I don't think ult dependent is the term to use for the Kufra either. It's just you really have to be very accurate with your skill shots, the landings, the timings of either your Tyrant's Revenge or your Tyrant's Rage, because then you barely have ways to get out of it. And same goes for the Barats, I feel. Once you really charge in and using your Daytona's welcome, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what you get out of the Barats when it comes to setup. So when you fail, it's really punishing.
If this wasn't a mobile MOBA, like this composition from the side of Vitality is basically a first-person shooter. Only headshots are worth it. If you don't hit that headshot, they just come back all of a sudden. You see Haji here just laying down hellfire with the feathered airstrike, and it was only going to get worse from that point onwards. So really, it was about taking the lead, securing a good foundation, and then closing out the game within first or second Lord. That was going to be the main idea for either side. And you can see that, especially at high level, the accuracy and more importantly, how much gold was being able to be absorbed by everyone across the map. Just absolutely nuts stuff. But there you have it. 2-1 is the current score for the Falcons. Let's see if they can close this out as we throw it over to Rain Day.
Well, there's a lot of things to identify there, but one thing was for sure. Team Falcons PH excited and alive. Live here at the Lenovo Legion Gauntlet at EWC 26. MSC has hit its most fan-filled match of the tournament so far. And we welcome you back to the panel to give us a deep breath after all the MLBB we have seen. My name's Rain Day, and I'm joined by Trex and LaFell. Guys, that was, just dominance, I think, on the side of Team Falcons, but a great response to the comfort pick of the Barats, how to handle that draft.
I think there was moments throughout that whole game that either team had some chances. Some mistakes were definitely made by the side of Vitality, but man, both teams just with insane plays. Haji, definitely the highlighted player for me throughout that game for Team Falcons.
LaFell, the implications of this are bigger. I know you got some stuff to break down. Before we go micro, I want to go macro. Team Falcons, that energy that we're hearing, it is a result of the fact that they still need a win to start their club championship title race again. And so this is literally the game that stands between them having a chance to do that in MLBB or having to wait until another game shows up.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like they can do it because right now, Vitality, they're making one bad macro decision, which is they're overthinking it because they honestly have enough counters towards the Fanny, but then it seems like they're trying to double down by putting more and more and more and more, but you really don't. Like, how many times have Shogun caught the Fanny mid-air? I feel like at that point, you don't need any other counter. You know that Shogun can do it. So I feel like for the next game, Vitality cannot overthink their draft. Sometimes the simple answer is the correct one.
Well,
I like it.
Go ahead, Trex.
No, I like it. I think it was definitely an idea, and I think one of the things, Finn, on this Kufra, it was maybe supposed to be an answer to the Farza, but I feel like they lost sight of that. And every time we saw these big dives, because you're right, Shogun had the Fanny. Fanny was handled. Kyle wasn't the major issue there. Towards the end of that game, they needed someone to jump on to Haji, and nobody ever really got there.
Didn't die.
And the problem is, there's a whole lot of heroes that can do it, right? It's not just the Kufra. The Cho could have done it. A Grok could have done it. Heck, even if you go Glue, even Glue can do it. And they don't, well, the carry has an answer towards the Glue, but meaning to say there's so many other roamers that can deal with the Farsa. Sure, I feel like the Farsa will still be okay, won't be that big of a problem, but still, this is something that you have to look back into and be like, Kyle is good, but you have the rest of the team you got to worry about.
Well, this one is not just a big game in terms of regions in MLBB. It's not just a big game in terms of the club championship, which has millions on the line, $70 million on the line here overall at EWC 26. But it's also big because in this specific matchup, getting to the semifinals earns you at least $150,000. Third place at least gets you $200,000, guys. So you're essentially doubling the amount of money you're making, and it's already a lot of money. LaFell, let's talk micro now. I want you to go into what you prepared for us on that telestrator. Trex is getting his arms ready. I know, Trex. But you get to work out while you're working.
I did shoulders today.
Yes.
I'll make it quick. Because here's the thing. The only real thing in this draft that you have to pay attention to is this both burst heroes as well as the carry being the Shredder, because for Falcons, I would say the biggest win condition for Vitality is actually the Barats. So if you can deal with the Barats, then you're good. And they have the carry to answer for that one. And here's the thing, Trace, you even saw in that game how many times Vitality started fight. But then Falcons just win it because you have to capitalize on mistakes. What do you need to capitalize on someone else's mistakes? That's right, damage. You need a lot of damage. And because of that, this Farsa is going to be super huge because every single time you start a fight, hey, guess what? Your damage dealers are dying. There's nothing much that you can really do. We're going to be looking at, honestly, just two clips here. And this one, something that I do have to speak about is damage is pretty king here, Trex. Okay, now
why are you staring him down, man? You took the mic from him.
Take the mic, my guy.
You know, it's like,
all right,
let the man do his thing.
Look at this. We're gonna look at how Shogun, all right, we're gonna see, oh, okay, this is actually more difficult than I thought. All right, we're gonna look at Shogun here and how Shogun can actually deal with the Fanny just by himself. Look at this and look at the Farsa as well. I didn't thought this job could be difficult, but You guys are proving it here. We're going to be looking at the Farsa, and the Farsa has so much range slash damage that they can deal with Moreno as well as kind of Finn here. You can see how the Fanny gets caught by the Barats, but just one tiny mistake. One tiny mistake here is that
Huge mistake.
Well, yeah, huge mistake where you can see the Barats miss the
wall.
Miss the wall, making it so that, you know, basically the Fanny can still basically the Fanny can get the turtle as well as the kill. And then later on, astaghfirullah alazim. Hold on. Okay, you know what? That's it.
That was our sponsor break. Thank you so much, EWC, MSC 2026. Gidia, we're so happy for you. You know, at this point,
TLDR.
Has anyone thought about getting a mic stand?
The Farsa has so much damage, it denies damage dealers. Damage wins. Big damn.
Oh,
Big damn.
Man.
Great words of Naisu.
That was funny. That was good stuff.
You guys are funny.
That's why you won all those talent awards, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You just
no
gotta,
matter what's thrown at you, you just.
I know how to roll with the punches.
He's always ready.
I love that, man.
Yeah, there you go.
Speaking of rolling with punches, this is a big punch as well because everyone you feel a little bit more. The fans get going. You know, like now we got to deal with Falcons fans coming at us in Game 4, and this is also a fan that could be. Well, this could. Well, what? What? Huh? This is a big one because this could mean that it's over. If Falcons can get this win, it's a best of 5.
Yeah.
So we either tie it up or we're finishing the day.
This is where the pressure is on, right?
Yeah.
Before it felt okay. Now it's if Vitality does not win this, they are gone.
They're gone. Out. T-Crush.
And it not even that. They have to win 2 more. They got to win 2 in a row. And no one's been able to win 2 games in a row. So at this point, his first. Team to win 2 games in a row, either Falcon here or Vitality next, takes this all.
You're right. So the question to me, and I think for many of us, Shogun, where do we prioritize this? Because it's worked once, it hasn't worked twice, but it's been balancing on a knife's edge. What do you think?
I feel like Shogun has been solved. I feel like he's looking pretty good. It's just that you need to make sure other avenues of the draft is taken care of, because even looking back into the draft...
Oh, he's trying to go back to the...
no, it's okay. It's okay. It's just that they don't have the right... dude, I can't even access this anymore. I'm in love.
Over. The
He's got to stop telestrating, guys. We have to stop him. If we give him 2 seconds...
If the Kufra is changed to maybe even a Grok, I feel like they would have had a better chance. Because the enemy just had too much damage. Stop letting the enemy have a lot of damage. Isn't that like a good way to win the game?
That is.
Yeah.
LaFell's so smart, but you know, I got to remind you, you can make a great point without a telestrator, LaFell. You're enough.
You are enough.
I'm Dubis Guganur.
Don't get copyright struck here. We want to keep this VOD up, guys.
Either ways, right now, what you're seeing here is the draft coming in from Vitality now has a lot of damage. Moreno also has a lot of damage. The only real problem is that Ogwen on this Belleric is able to exhort most of them, giving a lot of time for Haji to deal with Moreno and then Nile. And once they're out of the picture, and here's the thing, you don't have to die to be out of the picture. You just have to be close enough to dying, and then you're just not going to do much by that time. Even if Eman is full build, he's going to have difficulties because when he gets close, that carry is going to shred him anyways. So this is one of those drafts where Team Falcons, they have very little margin for errors anyways. Even if they make 1 or 2 mistakes, it really is no big deal. That's how good the draft was.
Well, you guys said you wanted to see Cho. Well, I know somewhere you could see Cho. Maybe if you check out that Street Fighter and MLBB crossover that's live in-game right now.
thinks he can come in here and play my game. He knows nothing. Let's go!
Tyler Wine, you're done.
Raw energy. Half a puff and blow the house down.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by Play.
Welcome back to the Esports World Cup here 2026. It's MSC, which is the big moment here internationally for MLBB before their M Series later on in the year. This means that for many players, it's the first time they've been out of their country. For many players, it's the first time they've competed internationally. Outside of their region. And when that light shines bright in these big moments where it's do or die, they're untested because that moment has been rare in a lot of different ways. These two teams may be some of the most experienced, however, that you can see, whether they're representing the Philippines or Indonesia. They come from histories and pedigrees of success. One of them is going to move on, and one of them is going to go home, ending maybe a potential club championship opportunity. One continuing, potentially go back-to-back. Back or become a new champion.
I mean, like, here's the thing. This is already living up to the hype of the Crunchyroll story because a lot of people, based on what's going on during the group stage in scrims, people are looking at Vitality to be the one to dominate this matchup. But just like Drake said during our pre-show, the thing about teams from the Philippines is that they adapt very fast. Give them 2 days off for them to just focus on the game. Right? They can figure out a way to deal with all this nonsense. And looking at this, they have figured it out.
Yeah, what's insane about it is during groups, both Team Liquid and Falcons felt like they were scrambling so much in the draft. Felt like they just were trying to kind of figure it out very quickly. And at this point, Vitality seems to be the one always on the back foot through all of these drafts. Even the games that they won, they just felt kind of always reacting, always trying to find the answers, never really the ones making Falcons guess their decisions.
And right now, Falcons have one more ban here. In the previous game, they banned out the Melissa, making it so that the draft was super open, eventually picking out the Fanny, and really working out well for them. But interestingly enough, both Vitality as well as Falcons, they are very happy where they're at, right? Falcons does not want to leave this red side, and Vitality really does not want to leave this blue side. But now match point here. Falcons just need one more win. Vitality, whatever draft they're going to go for, this has to be their very best.
I like... Your point before that, I don't think we've ever seen 4 matches in a row where it has always been the same blue side, same red side. Vitality's comfortable with it, even after the win of same red side. Vitality's comfortable with it, even after the win of even after the loss of Falcons, they still chose red. I think Vitality wants to run it back right now. Listen, we're going to run it back. We're just not going to pick up the Kufa this time.
I feel like just
and I'm
pick
going to
up
hit the wall.
Belleric +1, and then you're good, right?
Well, at this point, Shogun and Barats go hand in hand. It's like peanut butter and jelly.
Peanut
I
butter
do
and Barats.
love butter.
It's like Barats and Denna.
Yeah. It's like two peds in an aircon or something, right?
It's like Trex Lafell and Rain Day.
That's right.
There you go. We're perfect brothers.
Or like Belleric and Fanny. Both 3 American brothers, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like
Same
Belleric
family.
and Fanny, who are also a response on the side of that. We see the Herrera picked up as well for Nile, and the Eudora again. So they are running it back. They are saying this is exactly the same first 3 so far.
Except for the
Except
Herrera. The Herrera.
The Herrera.
Last time it was the Paquita.
That's right.
The
It
Herrera
was the
got
Paquita.
banned in second
You're
phase,
absolutely
so
right. Thank you for
Vitality
that.
wants to bring it a little more aggressive, I would say. I like it. I'm not against it. The Herrera, we haven't seen much Herrera versus Fanny games.
And now, so
really
this
good.
is already a bit of a difference here, but they still got to be careful in case something like a Farsa does come in, because I feel like as long as they pick up a roamer that can help out this Herrera and actually stay in the front lines, I feel like they're in a very good spot, because that's one of the problems where you leave the Barats all alone in the front line, he's just gonna get crushed. Unless now you make the difference where you ban out the carry. If you ban out the carry and maybe even potentially ban out the Moskov, then I feel like this Barats will be safe. He won't be countered just as hard as he was in the previous game.
Well, knowing the opportunity of that Farsa getting banned out, they lock it in first phase. But this means no Lapu for the side of Falcon. They are going to have the range. They are going to have the quick rotations, but Vitality will at least have a bit more time to adapt and think about how they want to answer this Farsa. Because Haji, yes, there's a lot of counters to a Farsa, and it's one of the reasons why it has gotten kind of pushed out of the meta. But a good mid laner, someone like Haji, will still find the positioning, will still find the timing of those feathered airstrikes. It can still always be a problem on this hero.
I mean, like, that's the good old